In November 2020, the United States cleared an aircraft to fly again, the Boeing 737 MAX, grounded for 20 months after two crashes that killed 346 people. The FAA said it was safe, but Europe disagreed, and passengers were already flying it in one country while it was banned in another. For 2 months, European skies remained closed to that aircraft, two of the world's most powerful aviation authorities, looking at the same aircraft, reaching different conclusions, different timelines. I am a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer. I have worked under both EASA and FAA regulatory frameworks. And here's what most people never understand. EASA and the FAA are not the same organization. They do not always agree. And the differences between them affect every aircraft you have ever flown on. In this video, I am going to show you exactly what those differences are and why they matter. The FAA is the Federal Aviation Administration, the United States federal regulator, responsible for civil aviation safety across the United States. It sets the rules for American airspace, American airlines, and American certified aircraft. Founded in 1958, one of the oldest and most influential aviation authorities on Earth. EASA is the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, founded in 2002. It replaced the individual national authorities of EU member states. Instead of each country having its own rules, EASA created a single regulatory framework across Europe. Today it covers 27 EU member states plus several associated countries, making it the largest single aviation regulatory bloc in the world by geography. Both authorities do the same fundamental job. They certify aircraft as safe to fly. They license the people who maintain and operate them. They set the rules for airspace and operations, and they investigate when something goes wrong. The goal is identical. The approach is not always the same. The FAA is generally more prescriptive. It tells industry what to do and how to do it. Detailed rules, specific procedures, defined methods. EASA leans more toward performance-based regulation. It defines the outcome required and allows industry more flexibility in how to achieve it. In practice, both systems produce safe aviation, but the path to that outcome looks different. When an aircraft manufacturer wants to certify a new aircraft, it must get approval from the relevant authority. A Boeing aircraft needs FAA approval. An Airbus aircraft needs EASA approval. But both manufacturers sell aircraft globally, so both authorities need to accept each other's certifications. This is called bilateral agreement, a framework that says, if your authority approved it, we will recognize that approval. The bilateral agreement between EASA and the FAA has existed for decades. It covers aircraft certification, maintenance approvals, and parts manufacturing. In most cases, it works seamlessly. An aircraft certified by the FAA is typically accepted by EASA with limited additional requirements. An aircraft certified by EASA is accepted by the FAA in return. The system was built on mutual trust, and it works until it does not. In October 2018 and March 2019, Lion Air Flight 61, and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 crashed. 346 people were killed. The cause, a flight control system called MCAS. The Boeing 737 MAX was grounded worldwide in March 2019. It would not fly again for nearly 2 years. Boeing worked with the FAA to redesign the MCAS system. In November 2020, the FAA recertified the 737 MAX. It was cleared to return to commercial service in the United States. But EASA was not satisfied. EASA conducted its own independent technical review. It identified additional requirements the FAA had not mandated, specifically enhanced pilot training requirements. Simulator training for all pilots transitioning to the MAX. The FAA had not required this. EASA did. European skies did not reopen to the 737 MAX until January 2021, 2 months after the FAA. Same aircraft, different conclusions, different timelines. The 737 MAX dispute was not an anomaly. It was a demonstration of something important. EASA and the FAA are independent authorities. Neither is subordinate to the other. Neither is required to follow the other's decisions. When they disagree, both positions stand, and the aircraft must meet both sets of requirements to fly globally. This independence is not a weakness, it is a strength. Two separate authorities reviewing the same evidence, applying their own technical judgment, arriving at their own conclusions. If one authority misses something, the other may catch it. The 737 MAX case showed exactly that. EASA's additional training requirement added an additional layer of safety beyond the FAA's approval. Two authorities, working independently, producing a safer outcome together. From an engineer's perspective, working under EASA regulation means working to a specific approved dataset. Every maintenance action is performed in accordance with EASA-approved documentation. Every certification is issued under an EASA Part 66 license. Every organization must hold an EASA Part 145 approval. If that same aircraft operates into the United States, the operator needs FAA acceptance of the maintenance carried out. In most cases, the bilateral agreement covers this automatically, but the engineer must understand which regulatory framework applies and ensure the maintenance data used is approved under the correct authority. The wrong data, the wrong approval basis, the aircraft does not fly. Two frameworks, one aircraft. The engineer must know both. EASA and the FAA are the two dominant forces in global aviation regulation. Different in structure, different in approach, but unified in purpose: the safety of every person on every commercial flight. The bilateral agreement keeps global aviation moving. Independent review keeps global aviation safe. When one authority pushes further than the other, the standard rises. Not just for one country, for everyone. That is the system working exactly as it should. Every aircraft I have ever signed as airworthy has been certified under a regulatory framework built by people who disagreed, who reviewed, who challenged, who required more. Because the goal was never agreement for its own sake. The goal was safety. Two authorities, one standard. Two authorities, one standard. If you want to understand what's actually happening every time you fly, subscribe. See you in the next one.